come to me for the ride of your life.
This really is the best time to visit Canada. We got in free to see Anne of Green Gables' house.
You want to go and take a picture?
What's your name?
Instagram.
What's that box that you have?
It's Instagram.
What's an Instagram? I don't know what that is. Never heard of an Instagram. Brian, will you tell us what an Instagram is?
It's like a social media. I was probably the oldest one in the Anne of Green Gables house, but props to the two women that were playing the two characters, Anne and her friend, because they stayed in character the whole time, even with little kids pulling on their skirts and creepy old men pulling on their skirts. They still stayed in character.
5 years old. When do you love to use your imagination? Just wonderful.
We're gonna try to get into Anne of Green Gables' house. We just met her, but you know, I think we're welcome here. Hello.
Hello.
Just look around.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The house was gorgeous, although I don't know how they kept busy and entertained before the internet. Okay, so Anne's room is up here, and you said it's on the left. Is this it here? There was this video about Anne of Green Gables, the history of the house and all of that, but it was only being played in French. So the only person from the group of the three of us that understood it was Dawson. So we're here in the red chairs. What do the red chairs mean?
It means it's the best view in all of Canada.
So we're here in the red chairs at Anne of Green Gables' house, and this is one of the best views of Canada. I mean, it's nice because you can see the house, but like...
Not really.
Not really, because the
see the
trees.
house. Yeah.
Like, it'd be better if these were in the backyard of the house. We realized that we're the only, like, adults at this house. There's like kids, and then there's really older people that grew up on the show and on the books, but we're literally the only adults. And we asked one of the staff, we're like, are we the only adults you've seen? They're like, yeah. They're like, well, unless they're with their family. So, and yeah, the character Anne came up to me and she's like, Ryan, how are you? Like, she thought she was gonna scare me because I'm probably the only adult that's been here in like 25 years. This is what I was waiting for. This is the P.E.I. that I've heard of. Gorgeous. Then in the middle of my Charlottetown adventures, the town was hit with a huge storm, and I got some video of some flooding by my hostel, which ended up making it on CBC News, by the way, which was pretty neat. So I'm done at the hostel. Now I'm going to brunch and then getting a souvenir or two, returning my lovely car, which I named Storm, by the way. His name is Storm. I'm getting on the train and heading to Halifax. Okay, so this is really messed up. We just missed our train. We were getting beers and onion rings, and we like timed it perfectly. What time is it? 3:30. It was supposed to get here at 3:30. Oh. After I got back to Amherst in Nova Scotia, I met up with Tiffany, and our train was delayed around an hour. So it was around 2:30. The train was supposed to come at 3:30, and I'd heard of this spot that was right across the way from the train tracks, and they were serving 250 Coors and Canadian beers, as well as pretty cheap food. So I decided to check it out with Tiffany, and we thought that we had everything timed out perfectly, but as we walked out at 3:25, we literally saw the train in the station. So we decided to run up to the conductor and wave and say, you know, we're going there, we're getting on. And literally the conductor, according to Tiffany, just waved back, and then you heard the train starts going choo, 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 and start like speeding up, and off it goes. it leaves without us. So literally, my biggest fear of this trip, well, one of them came true, and I missed my train. Tiffany saved the day. She found the Maritime bus, which is leaving in 4 or 3 hours. So we'll figure out what to do until then. But yeah, we missed the train. We were waving to the conductor. Nothing happened.
I mean, he's got a job to do.
He has a job to do, but we thought it was 3:30 on the board. It said 3:30. We were getting there, like we left the restaurant like 3:25, and excuse me, the train was already pulling into the station, and we couldn't get there in time, and then they left. So it's unfortunate. We're gonna take a bus. I'm gonna get in at like 10, and then I leave tomorrow at like 1, but that's okay.
Stay up all night.
Stay up all night, I guess, and explore Halifax. Okay, so me and Tiffany are walking to the gas station right now.
What up?
And that's where the bus is gonna pick us up. And we're in better mood now, at least I am, because I was stressing over that. But you know, we've had good chats. We're only gonna be around 2 hours past what we would have been on the train. And that's if the train, like,
To be fair, the train probably was even more delayed.
Yeah, could have been. And we're just enjoying this walk in Amherst, and some of the locals have actually talked to us, and they've been really nice. So, you know what? It's going okay. We're making the best of it.
Oh yeah, nothing wrong is happening. It's cool.
Finally, Tiffany and I got to the random gas station in West Amherst, Nova Scotia, and it's so funny because literally my train buddy, Elliot, from the Toronto to Jasper trip, ended up showing up randomly there with his friend Brad. Those two were the ones that I drove up to their camping site, and they were randomly at this gas station.
I have.
So look who I found in a random gas station. We are here. Where is it? West Amherst?
West Amherst.
Is that what it
We're
would
in
be?
an SF gas station.
So I'm here with Elliot and Brad and Tiffany.
Hello.
And we're waiting on our bus, and they're waiting on a bus too in this random gas station, and this is awesome.
That's really funny.
This is random.
Yeah.
Yeah. And literally Snapchatted Elliot like 2 minutes before, telling him how I missed my train, and the last I knew, they were both in Quebec City. So this was nuts and totally unplanned, but it ended up working out. Okay, so this worked out that we missed our train because, you know, this is pretty chill and we get to all chat. I got to see Elliot and Brad. And Tiffany's here too. Tiffany's here chilling out, and we're just waiting for our buses. They're going to Charlottetown, P.E.I. on a bus, and we're going to Halifax. It's totally random, this meetup, and it worked out. So we're on the bus and we're going to Halifax.
We're going to Halifax.
So we made it. The bus was actually really nice. It had Wi-Fi, and the sunsets were so amazing. So I finally got into Halifax, and we were there a bit late, so I wasn't gonna let that stop me. I was gonna get ready for the town, and I met up with my friend Antonino, who I met on the train earlier on my trip. So I'm here with Antonino, and we are here at the hostel. We made it. I made it to Halifax, and we're gonna check out downtown.
It's gonna be lit.
Okay, so I have my outfit here, and I put on a backwards hat, and
Looking like a true Haligonian.
I look like I'm from Halifax, I guess, so that's perfect. I'm fitting right in. My roommates aren't here. They're probably out having a fun time. I didn't get to meet them because I missed my train, but maybe I'll see them once I get back for an after party. I feel like I'm not gonna sleep much tonight because this is my only night in Halifax. So yeah, and it's Pride weekend, which is cool. Antonino decided to show me around Halifax a bit, and let me just say that it is so gorgeous at night, and it kind of reminded me of a mini Toronto. It's really not, there's not that many people, eh?
It's just a little bit more busy than it was earlier.
And that was during the day.
That was during the day.
I mean, it looks fun, but I don't know if it's $5 go in fun.
I don't know.
I didn't end up actually sleeping very much, but it wasn't because I was partying. It was because literally one of the hostel roommates that were in the same room as me, it was like 6 guys, and one of them literally smelled like a garbage dumpster that was left in the middle of a desert full of dirty soiled diapers. I'm not even joking. I woke up and I felt so sick. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I felt like I could hardly breathe. The BO smell in that room was so awful. And it's interesting because I kind of knew that it was gonna be like that, because when I first got back, there's this guy, really neat guy, who was from New York, and he was chilling there, and he had the door wide open with the fan on full blast. And I go, oh, like, how come you have the door open? Like, what's going on? And he was telling me about how this awful BO smell had been left in the room from one of the roommates, and that he hoped that the roommate had checked out. Turns out he didn't. He came in at like 3 in the morning and smelled up the entire room. So that really made my hostel experience there not the best. I mean, what can you do? I guess that's the risk that you take with staying with a bunch of random strangers. So I only have this morning, I don't know what that is. Anyways, I only have this morning in Halifax, and then I get on the train. So I'm doing this cool Harbour Hopper tour where you go on a bus and then it turns into a boat, and I'm gonna see Halifax that way. Halifax is absolutely beautiful. It's like a mini Toronto. There's a lot to do. It's very pretty. And yeah, it smells nice, fresh air. Really like it here.
P.E.I. He was a very strict and stern man when he was the commander of the city, and he didn't want anybody to be late for their duties on all of our fortresses, so he built a giant clock tower overlooking the city. As we come down off into our left here moment, we're going to be seeing a member of the 78th Highlanders standing out on sentry duty. You're going to see them here in a minute. Let's give them a big wave as we go by here today. Come on, handsome, give us a wave.
The Halifax Library is literally shaped as a stack of books. How sick is that? I thought that that was so cool.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome into the Halifax Harbour. They are considered to be some of the most technologically advanced frigates in the world. They come at a price tag of about $1 billion Canadian each.
After the Halifax Harbour tour, it was back on a train to Toronto. My trip was almost over, although I did meet some cool people on the train, and we had deep life chats, played lots of games.
Are you taking video?
Yeah. Hey. Playing this game, Base Camp, has some really cool questions in it. It's pitch black outside. I was just really taking the moment, so I didn't get a ton of vlogs from that part of the trip because I was really taking in the last moments of my trip. This is where it all started, at Union Station. Now I'm back in Toronto again. And my train trip with Via is over. It's been an amazing experience. And thank you, Via. Thanks to the cool staff. Thanks to all the friends that I made on the train. And thanks to all the people that showed me around their hometowns. I'm ready to get back home, be in my own bed, eat my own food, and just get back to normal life. But it's been an amazing experience, and this really is such a beautiful country. So I'm glad I did it. And yeah, there's definitely some other stuff that I still would love to do, and maybe I'll have to visit these places again some other time. All right, see you.